looks like I did not pick the most opportune time to press the start button. There's a train going by. So last night I spoke with Chris Stegeman again. He says a lot of stuff that makes sense. He's not an idiot. Well, I guess that depends on the situation. But the situations where he is an idiot, he'll admit he's an idiot, which is nice. Now, first of all, the way that I talk about Natalie, most of these people, is different than you guys might expect after seeing me on the internet. Chris said to me that he wishes that he had known Natalie. Yeah, she was a wonderful person. It was all of these other people getting involved and doing fucked up shit that was the issue. I needed her to ask them to stop. If I could have taken screenshots of the shit with Tim Beeson and shown to her that, at least, maybe at that point she would have asked them to stop. See, she went to the police and her friends harassed me. I went to the police. The police didn't give a fuck. And I was busy getting harassed. Now, did I stalk Natalie? Fuck no, I harassed her. There's a big fucking difference. I harassed her to end the violence, to end the bullshit that I was going through over things that I didn't fucking do. Things that I have done everything that I can to try to force a court date. Instead, the police did everything in their power to prevent me from having an honest court date, to prevent me from even going to those court dates, while the judges and the lawyers slandered my name. And there is ample proof and evidence of this. Much of it is in their custody. There was another point about Chris Stegeman that I had to make as well. After that conversation last night, sidetracked me. Imagine that. And it makes sense with everything that I have gone through. I mean, it all rolls around in my head all the time. But the other thing with Chris is that I have known him for a lot of years. And he did some fucked up shit. But you know what he did? He apologized for it. Imagine that. He apologized for the fucked up shit that he did. Dylan Bauer apologized for the fucked up shit that he did. Rihanna Ingersoll apologized for the fucked up shit that she did. Amy Spencer stole my things and treated me like shit over a situation she wasn't there for. Now, if she was to listen to that video between me and Rihanna and read the texts between myself and Rihanna, she would understand that I'm not the fucking bad guy. The problem is, first of all, when you're homeless, public pretenders aren't going to do their jobs. If they let you go, you got lucky because the jail is full. So you need to keep that in mind. With Chris, I was speaking with him and his girlfriend last night, and Chris left the conversation because he's like, I'm the spoiled one in this group. And that's actually true. But the fact is, just because he's the spoiled one in that group doesn't mean that he's spoiled. See, compared to Shannon Alvarado, yeah, Chris lives in the dirt. Compared to Donald Trump, Shannon Alvarado lives in the dirt. The guy that I'm staying with, the only reason that he has this place, the house that I was trying to get from Megan Christie before Natalie died, the guy who owns it, the only reason that he is able to live here and has this place now is because his family helped him out. The thing is, I needed my income back. Most of the situation that you guys aren't understanding is the abuse that I have to endure every day. The abuse that I have to endure every day is financial for the most part. I can't afford anything. I don't have an income. I can't work for a great many reasons. Should we go over those reasons? I mean, we'll start off with my back. We'll also talk about the psychological trauma that melts me down constantly. Then let's look at travel. Let's look at the fact that I don't have an ID. Those are pretty important. I'm going to need help with that. Now let's look at reputation. The reputation that I have because I was never allowed to defend myself in court. Literally, all of the laws that I broke were to try to force police to do their jobs. Chris Stegeman says that he's spoiled compared to me, and he's right. He was talking about how him living here in Chapel, Nebraska, how him and my older brother and he got away with a lot of stuff. My older brother could do whatever he wanted. This is what Chris Stegeman was telling me just last night. Yeah, you got treated different. I know I got treated different. I was a lot better behaved than Eric was. I was a lot more morally guided than Eric was. Eric got to do whatever he wanted, while I was pretty well confined to the house. I was grounded to the house through most of high school. When I should have been out learning how to socialize. I had to sneak out of the house, yeah. Fuck yes. I snuck out of my mom's house to go to 2 high school graduations at the Martindales. The Martindales are people I love very much. But the thing is, they didn't understand because they're spoiled. Well, many of these homeless people have had boyfriends and girlfriends, and having those boyfriends and girlfriends helps to prevent them from being victimized as often. Like Mandy Singer, she's got a husband named Joseph. When Mandy has to go do things, her husband will watch her stuff and keep it safe. When he has to go do things, has to go to appointments, has to go to apply for this or apply for that, her husband, when he goes to do these things, Mandy Singer will watch his stuff. When people are looking for somebody to victimize, when them college students who are spoiled as fuck walk downtown to try to find a homeless person to beat up. They call it homeless or hobo bashing. And this happens nationwide, by the way. When those college students go down there and they're looking for somebody to beat up like that, are they going to pick Mandy Hughes? No, because she's not alone. Joseph is with her. Her dog, Cheebs, is with her. She has help in person. Just the fact that he exists in her personal bubble, in her area, the fact that he is there and he cares about her helps to keep her from being victimized the way that I was victimized. But still, her things get stolen, and his things get stolen. They've had their things stolen from them while they're sleeping. They still have to deal with the harassment by the police, but a lot less of it than if they were alone. With this place right here, I'm glad the dude who owns it is letting me stay here. Through the wintertime, it's been a pain because I have to basically stay in the same room as him in order to not freeze. And he's very loud. But also, I understand that that is the way that he deals with his traumas. Now it's starting to warm up, so I can use the upstairs here. I also feel like shit every day that I'm here because I don't have money to give him for rent. I don't have money to give him for electricity. I don't have money to give him for food. And if it weren't for Laura Nelson, I wouldn't have food. If it wasn't for Rod Wright, that food pantry wouldn't be here. And Laura Nelson couldn't help me to get that food. But also, Laura Nelson is scared shitless of coming forward. She's afraid for the safety of herself and her family. And I understand that. Now, she explained to me, just like Miss Peaches explained to me. She's afraid for her family. Same as Candace explained to me. She's afraid for her family. Just like Mandy Hughes explained to me, she's afraid for her family. And Alyssa Rainwater explained to me, she is afraid for her family. And Karamia explained she is afraid for her family. And Danica Garner explained that she's afraid for her family. And Shelley Campbell explained that she's afraid for her family. Just like Darren O'Connor, afraid for his family. And Alex Furman, afraid for his family. And Robbie Forrest, afraid for his family. I'm going to explain something here to you. Derek Apodaca, while Sheriff Scott DaCosta here wants to tell me about how I was cleared, my name was cleared. It wasn't. See, there's the other things that I was accused of that I was never allowed to defend myself against. I mean, those of you who saw the thing with Tim Beeson, I only showed the very first post with him here on YouTube, just the very first message between him and I. And in that, you get to see those accusations in that very first one, the very first message between him and I. Now imagine if Natalie Bollinger had gotten to see that post. Would she have asked him to stop? Yes, she probably would have. The thing is that I need a lot more help than you guys realize. I need a safe environment. I need the resources to be able to go to these places that you guys treat me like shit because I'm not able to go to, despite the fact that I went to these places repeatedly for the help that you say that I will get at these places, and I go there. And no, I don't get that help. I am still victimized by the police in Cheyenne while I'm wasting all of my resources to go see those fucking therapists in Cheyenne. And I recorded every single time that I went there. And when they didn't like what I had to say, what did they do? They lied. They slandered my name and said that I was hitting the wall. Go through all of those videos from while I was in Cheyenne, Wyoming. How many of those videos do I hit anything at all? That's right, none of them. Not a single one. But then again, they weren't doing their jobs, now were they? They weren't doing what it is that they're taking your tax dollars for. With many of these people, they just needed to write it down. Miss Peaches needed to write it down. These people want to treat me like shit because I'm different now. Of course I'm different now. Of course I changed. You want to treat me like shit because I changed? I changed because I have had to endure a lot of fucking abuse. You didn't used to be like that, Sean. I know I didn't used to be like that. I know that. And that's the fucking point. You remember how I was before all of this? I want to be that person. I want to be that good man who helps people. I want to be that good man who saves lives. If something fucks up happens to Laura Nelson or her son, I'm in this town so I can help her. I can help her because I am actually here. But if that shit happens to Mandy Hughes or Mandy Singer or Alyssa Rainwater or Miss Peaches or Graham or Tabby, I can't do a thing to help them. I can speak up here on YouTube, and I will. If anything fucked up happens to those people, I will go very public with it. I needed help with all of these people going out of their way to prevent me from being able to speak to my loved ones, going out of their way to prevent me from communicating with people on Facebook because they hated me. They did evil shit, abusive shit, separated me from being able to talk to these people. When they lose their phones, at least I can get a hold of them on Facebook. Nope. There are people getting on and complaining that everything that I type is spam. So right now I'm basically just bitching on Facebook, right? Or bitching on YouTube. No, I'm not. I'm doing my best to raise awareness. See, Ken and Leah's son, he's autistic as well. He gets the same treatment that I do, the same treatment that I got at my mom's house. Their son is a good fucking kid. He's overwhelmed by the way that he is treated by Ken and Leah. One day, Gabriel was in the kitchen. He was cutting something with a knife when Ken decided that he was going to go in there and start shit. That young man put the knife down because he already knew that Ken was going to go out of his way to pretend that this young man was coming at him with a knife. But that young man wasn't. That young man was just asking Ken to leave him alone. That young man doesn't have any freedom. He has to live in his room. He doesn't get to take part in anything with the family because everything in that household is about Leah. Everything. Ken stole my money because Leah wanted stuff that she could buy on the internet. Ken stole my money so that he could support Leah's marijuana habit. I can't go to see these people to get this information. That assault by Waylon Lolatai prevented me from being able to do any of the things that I needed to do to take care of myself. The theft of my funds before that from Ken and Leah prevented me from being able to move back to Chapel, Nebraska. Ken and Leah did a lot of fucked up shit while I was there, but they didn't do the really fucked up shit until I moved out of my place here in Chapel. And then they stole all of my money, and I couldn't move back here to Chapel. Every step of the way, I tried to do the right thing. Chris Stegeman is another one of those people who had to deal with Jamie's fucked up head games. A lot of people did. James even talks about it. What a stuck up bitch she was in high school. However, I was there for a lot of things. I wasn't there to see James throw her down the stairs, which was what Jamie's son told me. I was there to see the bruises. Jamie went back to him. She went back to James. And that explains perfectly why she did the fucked up shit she did. That explains perfectly why she didn't come forward about it when it was a matter of me getting revenge against the dude who stole my girl. Jamie was never my girl. It was about me being afraid for the safety of Jamie and her son because of things that Jamie had done, things that Jamie had said. Jamie was going to call me once a week to let me know that her and the boy were safe. When she didn't, I freaked out. I mean, I literally couldn't take care of myself. I was in an overwhelming situation. I was being abused by her son. Ever since Natalie died, I have not had the financial ability to take care of myself, the financial ability to get away from predators. I just have to take the abuse. At least Chris Stegeman apologized. At least Dylan Bauer apologized. At least Rayanna Ingersoll apologized.